Now if you're looking at this at home, you may want to pause the video after you can see each of these questions, try them for yourself, and then see if you agree with the answer that I put up. So the thing we know about lines that are parallel to each other is that they have the same slope. Now if you want to find the slope of a line, it's easy to do that if it's in slope-intercept form, which is what you learn in Algebra 1. Oops. Put that back. There we go. So if I rearrange this, then I get y equals negative 2x plus 5, so the slope would be negative 2 and the intercept is 5. What I'm really interested in is this slope, because I know a line that's parallel to this will have that same slope. As we know a point that it passes through as well, we can also use the point slope formula, which we looked at in a previous lesson, and also in Algebra 1 too. Oops. Now I substituted in directly into this formula, so y minus y1 equals the slope x minus x1, but with x already being negative, that turned that into a positive. Distributed here, and then I just did one more step, I added 3 to both sides to give it like this. Now the question just says write an equation, so technically this would be good enough because we've got the equal sign here. More commonly you're going to see the answer in that form there. If you're working through an exercise in class, just make sure your answer in the back of the book agrees with the answer that you've got, and if it doesn't, then continue to manipulate until you can show that those two things are the same. Okay, second question. Now the thing about y equals 3 is that you have to know that it's a horizontal line. So anything that's parallel to that is also going to be a horizontal line. Now I've drawn a little picture to represent this here. So this is y equals 3. Here's the point negative 1, 7. If it's parallel to that, then it must go straight through that line. So the thing we know about y equals lines are the horizontal lines. They start with y equals. So all we need to do is find out actually what is the y value. So 7 for this one. So the equation is, as you can see here, just quite simply y equals 7. So that one's actually very simple to do. We don't need to do any algebra manipulation at all for that question. Write the equation of a line perpendicular to 2x equals 6, passing through negative 1, 7. Well, 2x equals 6 is the same as x equals 3. And the thing we should know about x equals 3 is, as y equals lines are horizontal, x equals lines are going to be vertical. Now this says perpendicular, so perpendicular to a vertical line would also be, once again, a horizontal line. Perpendicular means at 90 degrees to. So the perpendicular line is going to be y equals, so actually it's the same question as previously, we just need to find what the y value is, so y equals 7. Now if this question had said parallel to 2x equals 6, then that means it would also start with x equals, and our equation would just simply be x equals negative 1. Now the other thing that's worth reminding you about perpendicular lines from Algebra 1 is that the slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. So if I had given you the equation something like y equals half x plus 3, then the slope parallel to that would be 1/2, oops. And the slope perpendicular to that, what you do is you take the fraction and flip it, and then you change the sign. So in other words, negative 2. Now if you have a whole number for a slope, say like 3, and you want to do the slope perpendicular to that, the easiest way to do that is to write it as 3 over 1. Then you can flip it, 1 over 3, and you can change the sign. So parallel, same slope, perpendicular, you're going to do the negative reciprocal of that slope.